Two researchers have detailed the life histories of 180 mass shootings dating back to 1966, and they say there are striking similarities that can help stop them.
Jillian Peterson is an associate professor of criminology and criminal justice and the director of forensic psychology at Hamline University. She and sociologist James Densley wrote a book called The Violence Project: How to Stop a Mass Shooting Epidemic. And Jillian joins us on Zoom. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
The state's attorney kept stressing in the news conference a well-planned attack, and it made me wonder, is he trying to imply that if it's well-planned, that there's no way this person could be mentally ill? Could you comment on that? Could you be mentally ill and still have the ability to plan things?
You can, certainly. When we look at sort of patterns amongst these mass shooters' lives, you do see mental health concerns. You see suicide attempts. You see signs that the perpetrator is in crisis and they're communicating that to others. And we seem to be seeing that same pattern here with this perpetrator. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have a serious mental illness or a specific diagnosis, but you see those mental health concerns building up. But then also, you see this very highly planned attack. Oftentimes, perpetrators do spend a lot of time researching their targets, gathering weapons, and putting a lot of time and energy into studying other perpetrators, previous shootings, so that they can get sort of the highest body count and, make the biggest headlines.
It seems like there were so many red flags missed or ignored. In terms of, you've looked at different mass shootings and noticed a pattern of attempted suicides. In this case, there may have been an attempted suicide attempt in 2019. So who is involved in that would say, hey, this child needs mental health help? How do we intervene quickly before this situation unravels?
Yeah, that's the really difficult question. Oftentimes there are these red flags and people are noticing them. Police can be involved, mental health professionals, but the person doesn't get connected to that long-term mental health care that they need. We are big supporters of crisis response teams in schools, school-based mental health, teams that can investigate when someone's in crisis and figure out what's driving this. How do we get them connected to long-term services? Because maybe they're not at a risk of doing a shooting today, but in 2 years, like we saw in this case, they may be. So how do we get people off that pathway to violence earlier at the first sign of trouble?
But do you find in this situation that the families of these people are in denial because they fear some stigma or they don't want to spend money on counseling or some other reason?
I think we have this tendency to think perpetrators who do this are these scary, monstrous outsiders. They're these people coming in and doing these horrible things. And they are, of course, but that makes it so we can't think that this could be my nephew. It could be my neighbor. It could be my kid. It could be my classmate, because we haven't sort of accepted that these are insiders. These are people we see and every day. They're part of our communities that end up doing this. And because of that, we can't take the warning signs as seriously. So I think part of this is this shift in mentality that somebody in my life could be on this pathway to violence. When I'm seeing all these warning signs, how do I take them very seriously and make sure that I'm hooking that person up with the resources that they need?
And speaking along those lines, how often do you see parents either being involved or being complicit or simply ignoring the signs along the way?
It depends. Sometimes parents are explicitly ignoring the warning signs. Sometimes parents are at a loss and don't know what to do. Sometimes parents are doing things like we've seen in a number of cases recently, actually helping the perpetrator obtain the gun. And that's where you have to really question, right? Where's the disconnect there?
The book is The Violence Project: How to Stop a Mass Shooting Epidemic, available now on Amazon. Jillian, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
In other news this morning, oil prices are coming